Hey my lovely YouTubers, welcome back to my YouTube channel with me, your girl Morgan Tracy J, for another nighttime routine, guys. And before we get into this video, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube family, boo. Also, you turn on that notification bell also. And today's nighttime routine actually comes with a free nighttime guide that I created for you guys. This has a checklist and much more inside to really help you turn that nighttime routine and to lead you into powerful mornings. And so the very first thing I do in my evening routine is I tidy up areas that need it most. I realize that if I wake up the next day and my house is in shambles, that's another thing I have to add to my to-do list. So every evening I try to at least tidy up one area. I do not try to tidy up the entire home. I try to tidy up one specific area. If that might be my kitchen or my island or my living room, it's just one area. And honestly, I do work from home, so my home does get pretty junky during the day. I start opening up books and I have notes around and papers and bags and purses and clothes and things like that. And so it's really easy to get junky during the day when you work from home. And so in the evening, I have to tidy up just so my next day will be more powerful and purposeful. I also like to tidy up my desk area in the evening. This right here just lets me know when I wake up the next day that it's time for work, it's not time to clean up. I like to put things back where they need to go. And also too, I just want to make sure that when I wake up the next day, that my day is off to a really great start. Also in the evening, I love to give Monty a snack because he loves that. And also, this is something I usually let my little robot do, but this evening I decided to go ahead and sweep, and that was just because I didn't want the robot going around. And so that was just something real simple and easy, and that's something you could do if you need to tidy up one night. Just sweep a small area, and so that's what I decided to do at this time. But this does not happen every night. Some nights it's literally just wiping down a few things and calling it a day. And so as the evening progresses, I do love to turn on something on YouTube or on the TV, like a sermon or something like motivational for me, something kind of chill, music, things like that. What I like to do is I like to turn on the lights on my patio / my balcony. This right here just is kind of gives me an ambiance of the evening is starting, and I like having that for Monty too to kind of run back and forth. But I do like turning lights on my balcony. The next thing I would encourage you to do is at least wipe down one area that needs it in your home. This could be where your TV is on or your counters or something, or it could be your desk, or it could just be your bathroom counters. But I would encourage you at least just one area. Wipe down one area every evening, because what that does is that allows you to not have to do that the next evening. And that is really beneficial to each day. Some things get dusty, some things get dirty and out of place. And this has really helped me stay a little more consistent with cleaning up my home. So the next time is self-care and shower time. And honestly, this right here is one of my favorite times because now it means things are cleaned up, and I love to put on like a motivational word. And I honestly love to just take a long shower, hot shower at that. And I also, while I'm in the shower, I like to make sure I take care of my hair. And honestly, when I was recording this, it had been about 4 days since a real good wash. And I do not wash my hair every day. So this right here was time for a real good deep wash, co-wash, hair mask, all that stuff. And so that is something that I like to do. And when I get out of the shower, it is officially time for hair care and skin care. And honestly, this right here is really a great time for me. I love skincare and hair care time because it's just like good vibes. I have music playing or a sermon, and I'm kind of just focusing on myself. I'm encouraging myself through whatever I'm listening to. I'm just kind of preparing myself for the next day, but ending this day gracefully. And I think that is a big thing with the nighttime routine. You want to end your day gracefully. And you want to still feel like you're in control of your evening as you begin to wind down, because that's going to help you be even more control of your morning. So now it's time for a little bit more skincare, and I've been using this brand called Clarity, and actually this is not sponsored by them. I've really just used their stuff and I've really liked it, and this is actually a light scrub that I really do like to use once in a while, and so that's what I'm doing tonight and kind of just letting it sit on my skin while I get into my hair care. So when I start my hair care, I like to spray this stuff. It's called It's a 10 in my hair. It kind of helps a little bit with the detangling process, but I love to oil my scalp. I do not get to do this every night because most times it's not washing my hair every night, but I love to definitely oil my scalp because I definitely need it, especially when I'm in between washes. Also, I love to use any thick product in my hair before I start the detangling process. I don't know about you curly girls out there, but I have curly hair, and so the detangling process can be kind of long, especially if you don't put enough product in it. And so I first do that. I add a lot of product, and then I start with my dim brush, and I start from the bottom and work my way up all the way through my hair. And I noticed that if I do this consistently, it's kind of preparing my hair for the next day. So even if I go work out the next day or whatever, my hair is still pretty prepared and set, so it's easier to style. So now I just go ahead and wipe off that scrub off my face and just rinse it off. And then I start with my Night Facial Oil by Shea Moisture. I actually really love this oil. Because it really hydrates my skin, and since I do use acne medication, it dries me out, and so this is really good for a nighttime oil. And also I love to just add some chapstick on at the end of the night, and then it is wind down time, guys. And actually this is my favorite part of my evening because I feel like I can't get started into this until I first do all the other stuff. And so before I really start winding down, I go ahead and plan out my next day. So I jump on Google Calendars, I just go ahead and write out to-do lists, I look at my calendar, and I just kind of line it from priority. Many people do block time and things like that, but since I work from home now, I don't really have to block a lot of time out. I have just a lot of tasks that I have to get done within that certain day. And so usually I try to do that between 8 and 5, but sometimes it goes into the evening. So that's what I try to do here. I just write out everything I needed to do, from meetings to calls and things like that. Also, I like to make sure that I write out my goals and my thoughts. This is something really big to do when you are planning. So the next thing I like to do is to lay out my workout clothes. And if I wasn't working out on this particular next day, I would just lay out my clothes for the next day. I would kind of know what it is I wanted to wear. Also, I like to go ahead and pour up some tea and just have some really chill time, because I think this right here is the time where Monty is down, and it's just time for me finally to have some personal time outside of the hustle and bustle, okay? And I really do enjoy this time. So I do make me some hot flavored tea, and then I also add some honey, and then I just sit down because now it is time to prayer journal. And you guys know I talk about prayer journaling so much, but it truly has helped me overcome so many issues. And actually kind of at this particular time, I had just found out about a family member passing away, and it was just kind of shocking, but it also was something I had to just kind of go through. And I think one thing it did is it opened me up to some other areas of my heart that needed to be worked on. It was like their death showed me some areas that I needed to personally work on still. And so that's kind of what I was journaling about. And I was just journaling about how death really does open your eyes to certain things. And I will say for everybody, journaling can be different each and every day. I never really give myself a prompt or a scripture. I just kind of give myself a title, and I just kind of flow with the spirit. And many times some real deep things come out in my prayer journaling. I wish it wasn't always that way, but it always helps me see clear, and it always gives me the clarity I need. Also, if you want to know more about prayer journaling and how I do that, you can check it out in that free nighttime guide that I have down below. And as you prayer journal, I just want to challenge you to really just let yourself be real and authentic. Be real about your emotions, be real about your pains, because I always noticed that has always helped my prayer life. When I first can be real honest with myself, I can be very honest with God. When I can get to the nitty-gritty of why Morgan is feeling this way, or decisions I need to make, or the pain in my heart, or what exactly I'm feeling, then that allows me to be very vocal with God. And that's actually what was happening at this time. I was just kind of being very honest about what I felt inside about death and, things in that nature and things in my life, decisions and things like that. And that really did help me get the clarity and the peace that I needed for that day. And so that's why I love to prayer journal. The next thing I like to do is I like to challenge myself to read at least one book before bed. And the book I'm currently reading is Killing the Giant Debt of Ministry. And this is by Billy Joe Daugherty. And actually, you might be like, well, is your ministry in debt? Actually, it's not. But it's a really great book to read, I realize, because I never want my ministry to be in debt. And so this is something, it's a very powerful, based on a true story, and it is just such an anointed book. And so I've been challenging myself to just read one page a night, that's all. But I will say, once you start reading a book and you just challenge yourself to read one page a night, you'll eventually begin to read more pages because you get drawn in. And I'll always read content that is going to better me, better my life. I'm not really big on fictional books and things like that. But I'm super big on how can this help my life and help me go to the next level in God and the next level in what God has for me. How can I have more faith? How can I believe bigger? How can I help more women? Things like that. And so I read a lot of personal development books and books that are going to help me be the best version of myself. And so this is a current book I'm reading, but I always recommend another book called She Means Business. And so you can check those out. And so once I'm done reading my book, I blow out my little candle, turn off the TV, and hit the lights, grab my tea, and now it is time to head to bed. And so once I'm in bed, I usually try first not to jump on my phone and begin scrolling. I first just want to do a nightly prayer, and most of my nightly prayer consists of first just going through everything. So at this time, I actually was praying for the family member that just lost her husband. And so I was praying for my aunt, I was praying for my uncle, I was praying for family that was very, very, hit by this. And I also was just praying for some things in my life. And praying for some hurt that I've encountered and things that I've been really going through. And so this right here was really raw and authentic. I didn't expect it, honestly, because most nights it's like that little light. I'm just laying up looking at the ceiling. I'm praying. But this particular night, the emotions really hit me. And I wanted to turn the camera off so many times. But I just wanted to show you guys, this is the reality of a nighttime. This is the reality of life. Many nights you can go to bed feeling amazing and feeling beautiful and you're so great. But some nights you're going to cry yourself to sleep. Some nights the Holy Spirit is going to hit you and cause you to pray for 30 minutes to an hour. Some nights it's going to be a peaceful rest, and some nights it's going to be a battle because you are trusting the Lord with your life. Or sometimes it's just a night of surrendering and trusting God where you're at. And that's actually where I was right here. I was just trying to trust the Lord. And so when I finally got done with that, I went ahead and did my scrolling, and I went ahead and went to bed. So guys, thank you for watching this. I hope it blessed you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.